Yeah, so my name's Aaron Huffman. Grew up here in Wapakoneta, Ohio, and I'm a catechist with the Life Teen group here at St. Joe Parish, or Petersburg Parish, as I should say, but I help out with the St. Joe kids primarily. And I think the reason, or what my faith means to me is everything. My faith's everything. I kind of wear it on my sleeve as best as I can because it's an integral part of my life, especially when it comes to family and the way I treat people and the way I want to be treated. It's kind of my core values. It's the heartbeat of my whole being, I would say. And so really what it means to me, that's how I would describe it. It's everything and anything, because I know that how busy life can get and how crazy life can get when it comes to work and extracurriculars and everything in between. So I just know if I stay grounded and keep Jesus at the forefront, everything else will fall into place. Relationships, marriage, my marriage with my wife, Erica, everything else will take its course and be in the right order if I keep Jesus as number one. So that's my faith in a nutshell, is just keeping what's first, keeping what's important. So that's number one, what my faith means to me. And you can dig into that as much as you want, but there's a whole lot more to that as well. And then why I volunteer to be a catechist here at St. Joe, there's a couple different reasons, but I think the main reason, number one, I was asked to, as a volunteer, which I like to say yes if I can, if I feel that, through discernment and kind of praying about it, if I think it's where I should be. And I always like to kind of ask God each day, just put me where I should be, whether that's through work or life or whatever. So I was asked to do it. And I experienced, I went through, when I grew up, through St. Joe, was born and raised here in Wapak, went to St. Joseph Catholic Church from kindergarten through the time that they closed down, which I think I left after 6th grade, and then went to public schools. So I was always ingrained with St. Joe and St. Joe Church and the St. Joe people. And so I went through CCD all the way through, or PSR as they called it, all the way through high school, and then through the baccalaureate mass and all that stuff. And it was good. And as a kid, you're just, sometimes mom and dad say you got to go there. We're kind of required to go there type of thing. But I enjoyed going because I was with my friends, and we'd go after football practice or whatever and have a meal. And always, learning about Jesus, I was always eager to learn more, and it was a nice, relaxed place to learn more that was outside of just going to church on Sunday, so I enjoyed that. But I think I knew that the people there that were volunteering didn't have to be there. That's what volunteering is. And so I knew that these people are sacrificing their time. They don't have to be here if they don't want to. They got families, they got jobs, they can make 100 excuses in the world why they don't have to be here. And so when I think about when I was asked to do it, and I think about the people who poured into their time and energy into us kids, which I know helped shape me to get to where I am today in my faith especially, I know that things could be a lot different for me if they hadn't said, yes, I'll help out. And so that's why I feel called to help out. I feel happy to help out. And so that's kind of part one. People poured into me, so I want to pour back into them, from a faith perspective especially. But the second part of that, I think, just in the big scheme of things when it comes to Christianity, I think that our call is to bring people to Christ, and in the healthiest way possible, bring them to Jesus, show them what a relationship with Jesus truly is, and how He's changed our lives. It's not just go to church every Sunday, but it's what has my experience been. I think that's more powerful than anything. And especially when you can see a person take a 180-degree turn, and it's like there's no miracle drug or medicine or something that's going to do that to somebody that I've seen except Jesus. He is the miracle worker. So I think the reason why I like helping here at the teen level or high school level or just with kids versus trying to reach adults is because kids are a lot more open to learning and the conversation, and really they're not at that stage in their life where maybe they're more set in their ways. I think it's a lot easier to reach kids that are more still open, still learning, still curious about things, still learning about life than it is adults. Not saying that adults can't be reached, But I just think that there's a difference there, and it's a really good time, like you say, like we've talked about, Angie. It's a really good time to just plant those seeds, because you never know, and I've experienced this, I know a lot of people have experienced this, you never know that one thing you might say or do, or that action that somebody says, hey, wow, that's kind of, and that one thing people could look into, and that might kind of shape their path or their journey, or make a difference, and you would have no clue, maybe till 20 years later, 30 years later. So I think kids and children and young adults are way more receptive and open to hearing these things. And what better time than, there's never a better time than the present. So, that's kind of why I volunteer, what my faith means to me, and why I think other people should help out, especially younger folks, because, another thing about helping with the youth, it's more relatable to them if there's somebody that's not super far off in age. Not saying we want everybody to help out, we want as many volunteers as we can get to really, bring Jesus to the community. But it's definitely awesome if we have younger people in the community who can help out, because they can relate better to high schoolers who are going into college, or high schoolers who are going into, into the workforce. And then also even kids transitioning from elementary to middle school to high school. There's jumps there. We all went through that. So I think those are some of the reasons why I would volunteer, and why we're asking folks to please, think about it, pray about it, and just really discern if maybe that's where God's calling you, in addition to your faith life outside of church on Sunday and anything else you might already be doing in the community. So, that's kind of,